Right. We are live. Okay, guys, we are live. Hey guys, how we doing? We're just gonna wait for a bit. We're gonna get some people in, let people join in, and we'll start doing some questions and stuff, eh? Guys, how we doing? Just gonna give it probably like 2-3 minutes, and then we'll start getting people going with some of the questions. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just gonna switch. Don't worry, guys. We'll be coming up 1 second. Here we go. Can you guys hear me all right? You got the audio okay? I think you hopefully have, but let me know, please, if it's not. Trevor can hear me. Good stuff. Cool. Hopefully the footage will be all right. I think the camera might just take a little while to join in. Cool. God, guys, we got a few people in here. Hey, that's good. 11 people watching. That's all right. I was worried I'd sit here on my own, or maybe like one other person. Who knows? We got quite a few coming in though. That's good stuff. Oh, Mark can hear me from Australia. Man, that's crazy. So what time? In fact, it must be what, 7 a.m. there, I think. Someone said to me. 7 a.m. there. Wow. Cool. So this is the first. What's up, Rob? So what's up, guys? What's up, guys? So, God, look, we've got a good crowd in here, right? Let's see who we got first of all. We have got Mr. Graham, Mark, Steady Cam Man, Trevor, Pascal, how we doing? Chris, Graham, Mark again. It's a different Mark. Got a couple of Marks. Marcus, Thomas from Oklahoma. Nice. Good to see you guys. Oh, 6:02 a.m. Wow, 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for taking the time to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning for me. That's crazy. That's awesome. Let me just adjust this camera slightly, Eric, because you guys have got too much ceiling. You don't need all that ceiling, right? The picture looks a bit blurry on my screen. I don't know why. I'm hoping that's gonna settle down in a second. Have you guys got a blurry picture too? You probably do. I'm actually streaming this on my phone, and then I'm looking at my laptop for the comments. So, what's the beer you're sipping? You know what? This isn't beer. This is grape Fanta. If you guys don't know about the grape Fanta, you're missing out. I'm telling you, grape Fanta we got right there. Picture's good, perfect, cool. Yeah, in fact, actually, yeah, it's smartened up on my laptop too. So nice, good. You like the haircut, right? I just chopped it off short. You know what? I didn't chop it off short. Mrs. Sambles chopped it off short because we are. I mean, loads of you guys are in the UK, right? But right now we're kind of on lockdown. Not kind of. We're on lockdown, which basically means that we can only go out for like essentials, exercise once a day. So no getting your hair cut. So I just decided chop it off shorter. Mrs. Sambles did it for me. She's done a great job. It's good to go. Who have we got? We've got some other people who joined us. We've got Chris, Paul joined us. Is that a third Mark? No, we've got Mark Ferris, Mark Glendale. Cool, perfect. Just the usual guys. It's cool, and I recognize so many of these names. It's awesome, guys. So many of you guys who are on my channel all the time. Obviously, we have a few messages back and forth all the time, but loads of you guys who I see all the time, which is awesome. So thank you all for joining me. 21 people watching now. That's awesome. Cool. So look, I suppose a bit of an intro to this. The idea is that we're going to do a live Q&A. Going to do these, I don't know, however so often. We'll see how we go. Really depends on sort of, I guess, the success of it, but hopefully it'll be all right. My plan is to do it for an hour, but look, if there's still loads of people here at 10 o'clock, I'm not going to cut you guys off, right? That would just be mean. So let's see how we go. I'll tell you what we can do though. We've got 20 people watching, which means we should get 20 likes on this video, right? So go hit that like button. I say it every time. Take a second, hit that like button for me, and hopefully I'm going to see those likes go from 1 to 20 because we've got 20 people watching right now. Who else have we got coming in? Rob. Don't think I know the story of the Jag. Oh, the Jags jersey. I'll say that in a second. John, how we doing? Will, sorry, I think I might have missed you earlier. Will, Thomas, we said hello to already. Good to see you guys. Look at those likes piling up. There you go, guys. That's the job. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Still only half of you guys, though. Half of you not like the video? Man, I can't believe it. Unbelievable. So what's the story of the Jags jersey? So I'm not really a Jags fan as such. I love the NFL, watch the NFL all the time. In fact, I would have loved if I'd had the chance to photograph the NFL when it was over here in London. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to. But lots of you guys will know Jacksonville Jaguars are owned by a guy called Shahid Khan. He also owns Fulham. Which I work a lot with and I'm a fan of. So kind of by default, I'm kind of half a Jags fan. But if you had to say to me, which NFL team do you support? I'm a Giants fan, New York Giants. I've been watching the NFL for years. And obviously I've never lived in the States, but when I was younger, I don't know, I guess I felt some kind of affiliation to the Giants. And so kind of started to support the Giants. Yeah, that's how that came about. Okay. So let's have a look. We've got some questions starting to come in, which is cool. So let's have a look at some of these questions. Trevor's a Falcons fan. Nice, nice. So, right, John Bradley, what's photography from your first game to now? So I guess you kind of mean like sort of my journey on it. Yeah, I suppose. Look, I guess look, that's quite a lengthy question, right? But maybe it's a good way to kind of start us off. So. In very simple terms, so my start in sports photography wasn't with football. I started to photograph basketball. Did that loads, pretty much just did that, enjoyed it, did fairly well with it. And I kind of decided I wanted to take it a little bit further, built myself a portfolio in basketball and started to kind of push that around places and show people some of my work. From there, I kind of started to do a lot of work and started to do some paid professional basketball photography work. And one of the guys who I did a bit of work for was coaching a university team. He also, at the same time, was working with Fulham Football Club, doing some stuff with the youth teams, and they needed somebody to go and photograph some of their youth team games. So I got invited to do that almost like a trial kind of game. I went to do that. What was that? I think it was Fulham, maybe it was under 18s, I can't remember, but it was away to Woking, which actually isn't far from me. Went to do that game, did that, sent the photos over. They thought I did a good job, so I kind of got on board doing that and started working with them regularly, doing all of their youth games. From there, I built a football portfolio. So I always say to you guys, you don't have to photograph high-level football to get a portfolio. I built mine entirely through photographing youth football, started to get that out there a little bit, and then I started to get in touch with some agencies, offering to do a little bit of work. I did a little bit of basketball and football work for one sports agency. Then I started working with another agency, which is Frozen in Motion, who I work with now. They were a real kind of small starting up agency at the time. To be honest, took a bit of a chance on me. I didn't have like a massive track record with photographing professional sports, but they took a shot on me, let me do a few games. I think I did all right, and it kind of started building from there. So yeah, that's how I kind of got to this stage. Obviously, started off, doing whatever they wanted me to do. I can't remember what my first one was. I think it might have been Premier League. I think it was at Chelsea. Did Championship, Champions League, internationals, and kind of went from there. Really, that's pretty much the journey. So right, let's see what else we got. Okay, who we got here? Any advice for a young photographer? So it's from Will. So 15. Okay. Looking to go professional. Just moved on from a non-league club where I was club photographer. Looking to progress. Okay, cool. So look, Will, the best advice would be exactly it's exactly what I just said, right? Build yourself a portfolio, get the best possible images together that you can, and by the best possible images, you need 10 like standout images, right? So you've got to look at like your 10 best images you've got, use that as a portfolio, and then you start getting that out to as many people as you can. Once you're comfortable that that portfolio is good, put it in front of as many different people as you can, whether that's clubs, agencies, whatever. That's how you do it. I don't know the logistics of doing that kind of work when you're 15. Honestly, probably not just yet. I imagine a lot of agencies might need you to be 18 for insurance and whatever else, but focus on that portfolio, right? That's where you start. And that doesn't have to be high-level sports. My first basketball photography was a local league club in Surrey where I live. It wasn't anything professional. You don't need to photograph professional sports to build a portfolio. Right, let's jump back up here to did you doubt your photography at any point on the way up, as I always do, Graham? Yeah, of course, man. Look, I took some photos and then I look at everyone else's and think, man, like mine are rubbish compared to those. But you just got to keep going, right? Even now, and in fact, I think, maybe you asked me that on Twitter earlier. Even now, I look at my photos, then I always see, like, I go to a game and shoot photos, and then I'll have a look, and obviously the back page of all the papers the next day will be a photo of the game I was at, but not my photo. And I'm always looking at that photo thinking, you know, what is it that made that one better? What could I do to have a better photo? Sometimes I look at them and think, man, my photo was just as good as that. Why did mine not get used? But you know, that's kind of how it is, right? You just gotta keep on pushing. What's up, Rob? What's up, Keith? What's the most you sold a live sports pic for? Oh man, good question. Look, nothing massive is the honest answer. I think the most I've made for like a single picture is probably, I don't know, best part of £100 maybe. That was actually in a paper in the States. That was something from the NBA that I photographed. You know, but depending on what your picture get used for, look, you can make more, right? There'll be stuff you look at like I don't know, like the picture on the front cover of FIFA 2020, the football game, like for PlayStation. Someone would have taken that photo, and whoever it is who holds the license to that photo would have made a hell of a lot of money from that one photo, right? Probably thousands. So single photos can still sell for, you know, an awful lot of money. Is football something you want to do full time? I don't know, Mark, is my honest answer. I do a few different things right now. I don't know if I'd want to go just full time in football. Not because I don't enjoy it, because I do, but kind of how I'm set up right now, work wise, I do a few different bits, and I don't plan on changing that just yet. Let's have a look. What else we got? Trevor, what's your thoughts on what the FA have done to non-league teams, making the season null and void? Yeah, explanatory results. Redcar Athletic, who are shooting for 3 points off the top. Oh man. Yeah, look, it's tough, right? I guess. Look, what do I think of it? I don't know. Look, some of the higher levels of football, like the Premier League and the Championship, are still kind of holding on to see if they've got a chance of playing it. Obviously, I guess now with the Euros and stuff delayed, there'll be a chance that they might still have time to play the rest of the season, but I guess it just depends on how long this goes on for, right? If we're all still sat indoors come August, then I guess the reality of it is they'll have to do that with every level of football. And so, yeah, look, real shame. Like Redcar Athletic, yeah, must be gutted, horrible situation. But I guess what can you do, right? I guess at some point they've got to cut it off. It's a real shame, but at some point they have to. So deep history you've got there, bro. Thank you, man. Do you think the FA will cancel top flight? I guess kind of in line with what I just said. Hopefully they don't, but they might have to, right? What sort of gear did you start with? Cool. Okay, so well, so I mean, like in the past, I mean, I've used everything from like little disposable cameras to my phone and all sorts, right? But in terms of when I started getting like decent gear. The first camera I bought that I kind of invested a bit of money in was a 7D, a Canon 7D. I bought that along with the kit lens, which was the 1855, the 50mm lens, the nifty 50 f1.8, and the Canon 55 to 250, which I think is like f5.6. I think probably about £1,000 for all that together, maybe a little bit more. Kind of sprayed, collected all that together, and use that, use that gear for ages. When I started getting into football, my first longer lens I bought was a Sigma 100 to 300 f4, which I used for ages. I used that for ages. So those are the gear. All my original basketball portfolio was shot with that nifty 50, the 50mm on a Canon 7D. Why didn't they get used? Just, man, sometimes photos don't get used. £100, you must be rich. No, man, I'm not rich. That's one photo. That's the most a single photo has ever sold for, right? Sometimes photos sell for like £1, for, like an online website thing, something like that. What's the best advice you've ever been given in sports photography? God, that's a good question, John. Man, I don't know. Maybe find something different. So what I try and do is I always think about how I can get something different, especially when I'm at bigger events. And you look down to the corner flag and you see all the guys from like the top agencies like Getty and AP and all those things sat down there. If you're sat next to them and you get a photo, they're going to get a very similar photo. So you pretty much know from the outset your photo won't get used, because an agency like Getty has a much wider distribution, and they've got the top guys with the top gear and they get the best positions. So I will decide, right, let's look for something different, and I will try and sit somewhere different. It's risky because then if the celebration runs to the corner flag, I'm the guy who's not sat there getting that photo, but it gives me a chance to get something different. So that's probably the best advice, is think about how you can get something different from everybody else, because that's what will make your photo stand out. I'm sorry if I miss any questions, guys, because they're flying in a bit here, but I'm trying my best. What's your biggest photographic inspiration? You know what? Very originally, nothing to do with sports photography at all. A guy called Tony Hart is a wedding photographer. He shot my wedding. He taught me so much about photography early on when I started taking it seriously back in like 2012. So probably him, to be honest with you. In terms of sports photography, I watched loads of the NBA photographers. Some of those, are amazing. Andy Bernstein's one of the best in the NBA. He's an inspirational photographer, 100%. Paul, what focus setting do you use for football? Do you change it during the game or stick mostly the same? Good question. So I'll always shoot wide open, so I'll be at f2.8, and then I need a shutter speed of about 1,000. If it's a bright day, I'll go for like 12/50th, but ideally 1,000. If I'm struggling for light, I might drop to 100th, but I try for 1,000. Then I'll set the ISO to wherever I need it to be, to achieve the right exposure. That's normally what I change, is normally the ISO. Sometimes, especially if you're in a situation where players move into shadow, I might have to quickly bump up or bump down the ISO level to compensate for the shadow and the shade. Sometimes if I'm in a situation where I've managed to get a shutter speed of 1/250th, then I can quickly drop it to 1,000 in the areas of the pitch that are a little bit darker. But that's roughly my settings. What are the dudes like who you shoot with? Do you all get on? Yeah, definitely. And so it's funny. I mean, like, I rarely kind of work with guys in my agency. Sometimes I do. There's a couple of guys, Paul, who I work with, who I do a lot with. Robin, who I've done a fair bit with. There's other guys in my agency, but those are the two who I work with. Yeah, all good guys. In terms of the other guys from like other agencies, look, it's like any job, right? There are some lovely guys, some people who keep themselves to themselves. I haven't met anyone who's been like kind of, horrible to me. Certainly, look, in any job, there are some people who perhaps your personalities don't get on so much. But no, generally speaking, all good guys who I've met, pitch side, and especially the guys who shoot for my agency. Yeah, awesome. Really get on with all of them. Rachid, sorry if I say that wrong, from Paris. Hello, man, from Paris. Do you think a 7200 is overkill for an entry level Nikon crop sensor? No, I use a 7200 2.8. So I use the Canon 70 to 200 f2.8 on my Canon 7D Mark II, which is a crop sensor. So no, not at all. Dennis, great videos, tutorials. Thank you, man. What pitfalls would you advise to someone taking sports photos at national venues? Chatting here from Ireland. Hello, man. Pitfalls, I would say, things you kind of want to watch out for. You want to try and plan as much as you can, right? So ideally, you want to see, you want to know as much as you can about the ground you're going to shoot at, like, positions and stuff if you can. Ideally, sometimes you can't, but if you can, great. Make sure you've got some kind of connection. So sometimes in big venues, there's like a data cable you can plug into. Sometimes there's not. So, I use a dongle. I'll hotspot from my phone sometimes. Sometimes there's Wi-Fi. So always prepare for the connection, definitely. And make sure you've double checked your gear, have spares of everything. So if you're ever going to shoot anything professionally, always have 2 cameras, because if your camera goes wrong and someone's paying you to get those photos and you can't, you're bang in trouble, right? So you always want minimum of 2 cameras, spare batteries, make sure your laptop's charged, just plan. Prep as much as you possibly can. Trevor, what are you saying? I struggle with low light shooting, floodlighting at some grounds in the Northern League. Yeah. Do you suffer? Yeah, man, absolutely. Championship and Premier League, not so much. The lighting's normally pretty good at that level. But certainly it's some of the other stuff I've done. And certainly some of the youth stuff I do, some of the floodlights are horrendous, like you're almost in the dark. In that situation, I'm like maxing out. I'm ISO like 8,000, 10,000 even, which on my 1DX is fine. On my 7D Mark II is not so good. I'll be at f2.8. And even then, sometimes I'm having to drop my shutter speed to like 6/40th, which I hate to do, but if you have to, you have to. What lenses would you recommend? You just purchased a 300 2.8. Yeah, that's what I use. I use a 300 2.8. I'd love a 400, but right now I don't have that money to get the 400. Mad, you've said something to me in Polish that I'm afraid I don't understand, man. I hope it's nothing rude. If it is, I might have to delete it, right? But I'm sorry, man. I don't know what it is you said there. Mark, do you prefer shoot manual, TV, AV? Okay, cool. So I always shoot manual. Now, I'm not precious about saying, hey, you've always got to shoot manual. I always do shoot manual. When I started, I shot all of my sports in AV, and I would just make sure that the ISO level was high enough, that my shutter speed was high enough. But as I got a bit more practice and I got to know my cameras more, I always shoot manual, just because you can control it so much better, right? And one of the guys who I worked for, Gary at Frozen in Motion, he helped me a lot with that, and he was like real adamant the manual's the way to go. So I made sure I just mastered it, and yeah, I agree, it's the way to go 100%. What's John saying? So much advice out there, it's difficult to know what to listen to. Yeah, true. And look, even me, right? Like, how do you filter the good stuff and the bad stuff? Look, I'm not an expert in all this stuff. I share my experience and I share my own opinion of what I think. Doesn't mean I'm the expert. Some of the stuff I've already said in this live stream, other people will have a different opinion. Doesn't necessarily mean they're wrong, but just different opinions, right? It's hard. You just got to try to get a good source, I guess, and hopefully advice from someone with a proven track record. Colin, how did you deal with low light for your basketball shots? Yeah. Was it lots of post editing? Yeah, man, it was. So how did I deal with it? That's why I was using the Nifty 50, because the Nifty 50 is f1.8, which means you can get a lot of light into that lens. So with the original 7D, you didn't really want to push that ISO level beyond like 2,500, maybe 3,200 at stretch. But when I was shooting at f1.8, and when it was dark, I combined that with the shutter speed of like 1/640th if I had to. That gets a fair bit of light into the camera. Yeah, it's still a fair bit of post-editing, post-processing, because you need to deal with some of that noise. But yeah, look, I managed, right? I managed. What's your favorite sport to shoot? Basketball, 100% basketball. And Mark, I think you've shot some basketball, right? I think I've seen some stuff from you in Manchester. I hope that's you. Sorry if it's not, man. But basketball's my favorite one. Mainly so believe it or not, I play basketball. Um, and that's just my favorite sport. It's my favorite sport to watch, favorite sport to play. So it's my favorite sport to shoot. I like to think I'm okay at it as well. I'm getting the hang of it pretty well. I've managed to photograph NBA, which is amazing, pretty much the highest level of basketball. Maybe outside of perhaps the Olympics, I suppose. But yeah, no, really, really enjoy shooting basketball. I like football too, but I like basketball. I'd love to shoot some stuff I haven't done before, right? I'd like to, in fact, I think it was you that I said I want to shoot ice hockey too. Some NFL, like to do that as well, definitely. Keith, are you in GANs? Um, I'm taking a sip of my drink, man, because I'm not 100% sure what GANs is. But I think I'm guessing it's like a governing body or something for photography. If that's what it is, man, no, I'm not. I'm not a member of any kind of thing like that. I just kind of haven't. I'm not against it. Don't think it's a bad idea necessarily. I've just kind of never done it. Um, Sports Talk. Would you be prepared to come over here to the US to shoot basketball? I'm sure you'd get a job at a high level team here. Thank you, man. That's awesome. In fact, funny enough, one of the guys who shoots BBL, a guy called Joe, shooting with Leicester, he's come to the States. He's working with Chicago Bulls, which is awesome. I'd come on a trip to shoot it, 100%. But I couldn't come and like live there, because I've got Mrs. Sambles, I've got my family here, so no, man, I wouldn't be able to uproot and come to the States. No. Trevor, looking to work for an agency next season, which might be Championship or Borough. Okay. What's the minimum in accreditation and public liability? Well, so if you work for an agency, they do the accreditation, right? So when I work for an agency, I don't have an accreditation myself. They get me the accreditation. So you do that through them. So like in my situation, I'm shooting under their Dataco license, not my own. In terms of public liability insurance, I've got 2 million public liability insurance, which I think is what you have to shoot Premier League. I think National League might be 1 million, but I've got two because that's just in my kind of package of the insurance that I have anyway. Do you have a press card? I've got a Dataco license card, but again, that's not my own. That's under the license of the agency I shoot for. Mark, yes, the Giants. Cool. Yeah, I thought it was, man. Nice one. A little bit of GB. Yeah, nice. I've shot GB. Awesome. Tog Togger. Amateur Tog here. Cool. Yep. Brentwood, mostly wildlife and footy. Nice. What is GANS? Is it a big agency? Man, I don't know. I don't know. Keith needs to tell us. Keith, let us know what GANS is. I feel like I've missed something there. Mostly wildlife. Nice, man. I love wildlife photography. I was lucky enough to go on a trip to South Africa a few years back to a friend's wedding that was out there. And we went into one of the big kind of game parks and we shot some wildlife. That was, man, awesome, lovely. In fact, I've got a photo of a lion that I took on the wall of my house. Man, love doing that. I love wildlife photography. Don't get a chance to do it so much, but yeah, absolutely, man. I'd love to. What is GANS? Yeah, then Keith needs to let us know. Jamie. Hey Rob, how are you? Bit late to the party. Jamie, don't worry, man. Get involved, right? There's still plenty of time to come. We're all good. Mark, open invite to the ice hockey. Thank you, man. You know, I'll probably take you up on that sometime, eh? Definitely, that'd be cool. Togger, I've not heard of that governing body. Do I need that to do Prem football? Man, I don't know what it is, man. Keith's gonna let us know though. Don't worry. Jamie Hollis. Joe Pinchin. Yeah, that's who it is who's gone to Chicago, man. Yeah, man. He's awesome at what he does. Really good. Come and do a video at the ice hockey. Yeah, man. That'd be cool, right? That'd be a good video. My first ever time shooting a new sport. That would be good. Keep up the good work, Mr. T. So Mr. T just lurking in the comments there. Mr. T's a sports photographer as well. He works for an agency. Does loads of the events I do. See him a fair bit. He's a great photographer. Go check him out on Instagram, guys, if you haven't already. Who else we got? In fact, Mr. T, I've just said you, man, stick your Instagram in the comments, Mr. T. Let the guys know what it is. Trevor, is GANs to do with astrophotography? I don't know, man. You know what? I'm gonna Google GANs in a minute if we don't find out what it is. I need to know what it's about. Do you use teleconverters on any of your football gear? Yeah, I do. Not so much. I mean, I've got a 1.4 teleconverter. Every now and then, I tell you why I tend to use it. The main positions I sit in, I find my 300 long enough. But every now and again, if I want to get something zoomed in, and normally that would be like a shot of the manager, I connect my converter to zoom in and get that shot. I don't tend to use it for the actual football though. It doesn't really slow down the focus, but it maybe affects it slightly. Tog, I want to go to SA, do safari. 16 to 55, man. Let me remind myself. You don't want that going in the Lions outfit. I remember a video on YouTube or something somewhere of a photographer having their lens chewed up by a lion. I'm sure I've seen something like that once. John, will you be getting merch for your channel or any equipment giveaways? I don't know, man. Maybe. I thought about doing some stickers and stuff because some of you guys might remember a few videos ago I sent out some photo prints, which I've kind of done. You know, I did before, and I thought maybe about having some stickers or something we could send out to people. So maybe I will. I don't know right now, but yeah, potentially I will. I tell you what I am doing. You guys, so if you haven't seen my previous video, go check it out. But I talked in that about a Facebook group I'm setting up that's linked to the Patreon account. All the money from the Patreon account is going to charity. Everything that we make through the end of March and all of April. And the first 10 people who sign up to that, I'm sending out some photo prints to those guys. So if you haven't already and you're thinking about it, go check out the Patreon. The first 10 people joining up to that, I'm sending out some photo prints. So definitely doing a giveaway there. Obviously, you pay £5 to be in the Patreon, but that's going to charity. So, you know, think about it if you haven't already, guys. Think about it. Merch, though. I don't know. But yeah, maybe. I don't know. Would people want to wear a T-shirt? Rob Sandals? I don't know if you guys would. Maybe we will, though, right? We'll see. I'll have a look at that. Jamie, quick question. Looking to get a 7200. Is there a huge difference between the Sigma and the Canon? You know, I don't know. I've not used the Sigma one myself, so I won't claim to be an expert on that. There's going to be some difference, right? But so look, I love Sigma lenses. I used the 1835 for ages. Beautiful lens. I don't know much about the 70-200, but they make decent lenses. So look, I always say to everybody, don't worry too much. Get whatever you can afford on your budget and run with it. I'm sure it's going to be good. Keith. Keith's let us know what GANS is, guys. So GANS is the General Association of National Sports Snappers. Okay, cool. All right. For some reason, they've dropped the second S. Okay, cool. There we go. So, right, that makes sense. No, look, maybe I should look into that, right? But no, I'm not a member of it at the moment, but perhaps I should have a look. Oh, further down, Keith then said, a friend of his works for Daily Mail and gets loads of cheap gear by being a member of GANS. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe I need to check out GANS, right? Sounds like I should be getting onto that. Nice. Rashid, an ambitious question. What does it take to shoot the Olympics? It takes being better than me, man, because I've not shot the Olympics. No, I'm joking. So I haven't tried to shoot an Olympics. So funny enough, it was 2012 that I got into photography. So I wasn't around, let's say, photography wise at that point to try and shoot the Olympics. I would love to shoot an Olympics. For me, a World Cup and an Olympics, along with maybe like an NBA finals or something, would be the absolute biggest, amazing things to shoot. So what does it take to shoot an Olympics? You've got to be good. You would either need to work for a paper or an agency, a big enough agency to get accreditation to the Olympics. And you'd need to be good, right? You'd need to be good because all those kind of agencies will be sending their best photographers, and you need to be good. I'm sure a lot of them would send specialists in certain sports. So, for example, there will be photographers who photograph judo, like as their main thing that they shoot, and they'll be amazing at judo. So agencies might pick someone up like that specifically to go shoot the judo. So maybe I'd have half a chance at the basketball. Who knows? But you have to be good, right? I'd love to see an Olympics. Kevin Chadwick. All right, that's probably who works for the Daily Mail, right? Cool. Chadwick. I feel like maybe I know that name, but I don't know. James came across the channel a few weeks ago. Nice. Okay. I think I've seen you at a few games too. Oh, okay, man. Cool. Nice. Yeah, you probably have. I've seen quite a few guys at games, right? That's how I met Mr. T at one of the games. So look, man, if you see me, say hello, right? Sometimes we're busy. We might not get to chat for ages, but look, please say hello. It's always good to chat. You came across the channel a few weeks ago. Nice, man. Thank you, man. Look, it's good to have you along. It's good to have everyone along. Important question, Rob. Is that Ribena or a snake bite? So no, man, you might have missed it earlier on. So this is grape flavored Fanta, right? So this is really random, right? I was in Five Guys. You guys know the burger place Five Guys, like a couple of years back. And you can make all your like whatever drink you want in their little drinks vending machine. I made grape Fanta, and it was like the best thing in the world. I thought, oh man, if only they sold grape Fanta. About 3 months ago, I was in Tesco's. Grape Fanta on the shelf. Couldn't believe it. So I've been enjoying myself a little bit of grape Fanta since then. It's not a snake bite though, man. No. I don't think I've drunk one of those since I was at university. Maybe I should. Sports Tog, would you be prepared to come to the States? Man, I've answered that question, man. You're spamming the question in, hey? No, it's probably an accident, I would guess. Maybe something up with your YouTube there, man. Go back and watch the video afterwards, though. I've answered that question for you, man. Don't worry. What else we got? John, does your geographical location help? Yeah, man, it definitely helps. I'm pretty lucky with where I am, right? So I live just outside London. Like to get to drive to central London is like 45 minutes. Well, some parts of London, like Craven Cottage, Stamford Bridge, they're like 40 minutes drive, maybe less than that, 35 minutes drive from me. To get to like Wembley is like 50 minutes. So yeah, I'm pretty lucky with where I am, right? Because that makes a big difference in terms of loads of the big sports events are in London, right? When the NBA came over here, they were in London. Lots of football clubs, high level like Premier League, Championship, all within close distance. And if I travel a little bit further, like South Coast, Portsmouth, stuff like that. So yeah, my location certainly helps, definitely. I've always lived in this area, by the way. That's just coincidence. I didn't like move to this area for photography or anything like that. Rob Anderson, Rob, I will tell Peter Reed Miller to hook you up. Thank you. Peter Reed Miller's an awesome photographer, right? You guys, I'm sure if you're watching my channel, I'm sure you've seen his. I think he actually started the channel after me, but he does loads of stuff. And look, he's an amazing photographer, right? He's worked with Sports Illustrated, all sorts. Awesome photographer. I learned stuff from his videos, so go check him out because you guys will learn something from his. But yeah, man. I don't like. Do you know him, or maybe you mean you're gonna like comment on his videos or something? Go comment on his videos, guys. Go tell Peter Reed Miller he should come and watch my channel. I watch his, he should watch mine, right? Nick, great video, man. Thank you, man. Do you use an external mic? Yeah, I do. So I use a Rode Video Micro. Funny enough, this is it here. So I've actually got it connected up right now. So the audio is coming from here. And I'm actually, so it's linked into my phone. So it works on a phone, which is pretty cool. Quite a lot of people commented about the audio on my channel saying it wasn't so great. So I tried to improve it. I still don't think I've got it where I want it to be, but it's better than it was. It's better than it was. But that's a Rode Video Micro. I just use that because it's smaller, so especially when I'm moving around doing videos, it's easier to use. John, Chris Chadwick, Leicester based, or was it King Power? Oh, okay, cool, nice. Works for the Leicester based. Okay, cool, nice, man, nice. Jamie, first season photographing long league football. Nice, man, good. My team is second, 3 points behind first, 5 games in hand. Oh man, 90% winning the league and then the season is void. Oh man, that's tough, right? It's tough. It's same with loads of things though, right? The basketball so I work for Surrey Scorchers, a lot of you guys know that. Their season is probably going to be cancelled. I don't know, probably it seems. Shame. Have you done any sports portraits, not just a standard? Yeah, I have, man. I've done some, not like a high level. I've done some basketball ones, and I've done a few other little ones here and there. Nothing. Well, some of the basketball ones I did as part of work, but mostly just to kind of try it out, not like professional. What do you see as the future for us independent snappers working for small agencies? Seems the big boys, Getty, APPA, etc., have all the markets tied up. Yeah, they do. They always have, right? I don't think that's really changed. The future of smaller agencies, I don't know, right? Look, somebody working for a smaller agency, if they were just trying to make a full-time living from that, it would be a struggle. Best thing you can try and do is diversify, right? I know loads of photographers who will do some sports and then they'll shoot whatever else, weddings and whatever else alongside. You got to do what you got to do to make your living, right? Maybe even just some totally non-photography work alongside, like I do. I do some non-photography related work as well. You just got to kind of get your income where you can, diversify best you can, right? Rob, love the cut. Thank you, man. It's nothing fancy. It's just literally just shaved off at home. Mrs. Sambles did it. She's done a great job. First ever time cutting hair. So we literally just chopped it off short. Rob, how did you start with Fulham? And did you work for the agency then? Okay. So no. So all of my youth stuff I do with Fulham, they're under 21s or under 23s, is now under 18s, all that stuff. I do that directly for the club, for Fulham. I did that through. I said right at the start of the stream, and you probably missed it there, but basically that was because we had a guy who I knew. They needed someone to shoot a game. They invited me along to do like a trial run at it, and kind of went from there. So no, I wasn't working for the agency then. I started working for an agency afterwards once I built my portfolio, which I built mostly from shooting Fulham youth teams. Peter's the best. Yeah, man, absolutely. What are the football players like? Yeah, man. I mean, look, I don't have a massive amount of interaction with players, right? Like when you're photographing a game, you're not really mingling with the players. But yeah, like I mean, I sometimes I get a bit more interaction with some of the Fulham players through the work I do. Yeah, man, I'm like all real nice guys, right? I think there's like this big aura, like football players are bad guys or they're arrogant or something. Not from the interactions I've had with players. All seem lovely, especially when you're there really early for a game or you're staying late. You see a lot of stuff that other people wouldn't see, right? Like when the players first come out for warm-ups, so often they'll take times to talk to the kids, sign autographs. Sometimes they'll go in after a game or they're out doing like warm downs, they'll sign stuff. It's nice to see. It's nice to see. They must ask you for pictures all the time. Yeah, sometimes they do, like especially so that's more so when I know the players of a team. So like the basketball I shoot, I know all the Surrey Scorchers guys. Yeah, of course, they want photos all the time, right? But that's kind of the nature of the job. If you're a photographer for a club, they want photos, right? They want to be able to use them on their own social medias and everything like that, which is fine for me. That's part of the deal I have with Surrey anyway. John. Okay, cool, man. A YouTube question. All right. How many subscribers, views do you need to make a channel profitable full time? Is that something you want? Man, good question. How God to make full time, you need a lot, man. I mean, like I don't really make any money from my YouTube channel. I make a little bit, but nowhere near as much as I then invest in it, if that makes sense, because I have to buy bits here and there for, for videos and stuff. So I certainly don't make any kind of profit. We literally, well, look, put it this way, 2,000 subscribers literally gives you like literally pocket change. I would imagine if someone got to like 20,000, they'd start making a bit more money, but full time, you need a lot, right? You need a lot. Is that something I want to? No, man, no. Look, I mostly do this for a bit of fun. Look, I'm not looking. If somehow my channel blew up, yeah, look, would I invest a lot more time into it? Yeah, of course I would, because I'd be able to, because I would be able to afford to focus more time on that and a bit less on some other work. But no, I don't necessarily have that in my plans to. No. Did you hear about James Dolan? No, man. I don't think I did. Fill me in, man. No, I don't think I did. 33 watching. Guys, do me a favor, guys, just quick. Go take a second to hit that like button for me. 33 people watching, 17 likes. Come on, let's do it. Let's get that over 30 likes. Let's do this. Jamie Hollis, did you ever thought about photographing motorsport? Yeah, man, I have done. I've shot some motorsport. If you have a look on my Instagram page, my @RobSambles_sport one, you'll see some motorsport on there. I've done that. Togger, if you're a Fulham fan, can you not email and ask if you can be their photographer full time? Yeah, man, I suppose I could. But I know that they work with some agencies and they've got photographers and stuff already. So no, I haven't thought about doing that just yet. No. Dolan tested positive. Oh right, okay, man. No, I didn't hear that. It's crazy, right? There's an awful lot of stuff going on like that right now. It's tough. Awful lot of stuff going on. Right. Where are we? The questions. I feel like I probably missed some stuff. Let me scroll back a little bit and see if I missed any. Questions. Hold up 2 seconds. Keep firing the questions into the comments, guys. Keep them coming, right? It's good to get as many as I can out there for you guys. I'm sure I missed something. Let's have a quick look. It's crazy all the stuff about the season being void, right? Affects a lot of clubs, and who knows? I mean, you know, the Euros being pushed back. I mean, I said, you know, I said so tonight I'm supposed to be shooting England at Wembley, and I was hoping to shoot my first major tournament, right? Real shame. Well, look, hopefully it will next year. It's Euro 2021 now instead of Euro 2020, right? So at least that one's not cancelled. It's just been moved. John, what do you edit your YouTube videos on? How long does it take from filming to uploading? Good question, man. It's a lot of work. So a lot more work than people probably realize, which is why everybody says, hey, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, because for it to be worth the amount of time, you need the channel to have some kind of success. Because if it doesn't, you put in a lot of time and effort, and all it does is take away from your time when you could be doing other work. Now, I do it because it's fun. I enjoy doing it. So I want to be able to invest as much time as possible. So when I say to you guys, like, do me a favor, like the video, which 21 people have done. Thank you, guys. 13 of you guys who don't want to like my video. That's all right. I don't mind. So it's hard. It takes a while, right? So sometimes to edit a video, God, if I'm lucky, I'll do it in like 3-4 hours if it's a quick one. Sometimes it's a lot more work than that. Steady Cam, man, your new office space looks amazing. Thank you, man. I'm going to do a full video where we talk about all this, actually. I'm going to talk about what I built, what I've got here, talk to you about some of this stuff, because loads of this in the background is like cuttings from papers I've done, old accreditations, all sorts. So I'll do a video where we talk all about that. Mark, is the agency you're looking for work? I don't know, man. There's someone up there already. There's somebody who shoots games up that way. I don't know if they're looking for anyone else. When are you doing a video on photo mechanics? Yeah, definitely, man. I'm going to do some more videos on photo mechanics. So, in fact, just to finish answering John's question. So I was just using like a free video editing program in Windows, but I've just started learning Adobe Premiere Pro. So my videos are going to be shot on Premiere Pro. I've just got to keep on doing that and see what I can do to get the hang of Premiere Pro and learn how to do that properly. So there'll be videos coming on Photo Mechanic, Premiere Pro, Lightroom. Especially at the moment, I can't show you guys being out and about photographing events, right? So I'm going to show you guys some of the more programming, editing stuff as we go. How can I make my football shots stand out? You just got to do all the usual stuff, man. Keep on trying your best. Keep on getting your photos. Try and find something different from someone else. Look for some inspiration. Look at the best football photographers out there on Instagram, the Premier League guys, the international guys. See what they do. Look at what you think makes their photos stand out. See if you can replicate some of it, maybe, but at the same time, try and come up with your own idea. See if you can photograph something that looks different. Because if something looks different and also looks great, that's what makes it stand out, right? Sean, if there was Keith, come on, man, like his video. Thank you, Keith. Sean, if there was one sport that would be your dream to photograph, what image would you look to walk away with? Cool, good question, man. I think probably the NFL would be the photograph I'd like to the sport I'd like to shoot. What image would I want to walk away with, man? I guess just some amazing ones, right? Perhaps a real great touchdown, an awesome play, a big celebration, just something awesome. Jez, when you shoot Premier League, how many pics do you shoot? Okay. It varies really, right? You basically submit enough in line with the story of the game. Probably the minimum you would ever submit would be like 40, something like that. But sometimes if it's a big game with loads of action, you'll send in well over 100. How many do you shoot? God, at least several hundred, maybe 1,000 perhaps, depending on the event and how busy it is. If it's like a boring 0-0 draw, you might end up with 100 photos and you're struggling to find 40 good ones. If you have an amazing 4-4 extra time, goals all over the place, you'll probably have 2,000 photos and you'll be sending 120. So it varies quite a lot. Kind of think sports photography dead accounts far from being very popular. Oh, okay. Not as much. Oh, okay, yeah. I suppose maybe sports photography doesn't appeal to as wider audience as like landscapes and stuff. Sports photography accounts are probably a bit more for people who like photography, or maybe like a team that's linked with that account or something. Whereas like a picture of a nice landscape could appeal to anyone, right? Maybe that's why, but I don't really know. Do you like to use presets? I use some basic presets, Robert. Yeah, just like for sports photos, I'll use some real basic presets that tweak a couple of things, but not massively. In fact, I'll do a video on that, like how I go about editing my sports photos pitch side. Do you keep all of your images, and what do you use for backup of your images? I don't keep all of them, so I keep the ones I've used. So like I just said, so for example, if I shoot 1,000 images and I pick 100 for the set, I'll keep all of those 100, but I don't keep the other 900. If I've rejected them, I've rejected them. What do I use for backup? Yeah, good. Yeah, I'll do a video on that, man. I'll do a video on that. That's a good idea. Do you invest every penny of your photography payments back into your gear? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Yeah, same with, so all my photography work, my YouTube work, pretty much, I don't make any profit from any of it, right? I invest all of it back into making these videos, doing more photography work. So yeah, I don't make a huge amount of profit right now, specifically from sports photography, no. Jamie, if you're shooting a night game and non-league with bad lighting, what lenses would you use? The best ones you can, Jamie, right? So you just, whatever you've got, you just got to go with the best lens you've got. If you've got something that's f2.8, great, use it. If you haven't and you've only got an f4, then you've got to use the f4. Just bear in mind you'll probably have to have a higher ISO level to achieve the same exposure. But generally speaking, I will use f2.8 lenses when I'm working in bad light. Trevor's saying, Rob, I thought your answer to Sean's question would be winning goal. Yeah, well, oh yeah, man, 100%. God, if I could be at a World Cup final and get a winning goal for England, yeah, that'd be awesome. I probably wouldn't get the photo because I'd be celebrating off the side somewhere. But yeah, man, that'd be an awesome experience, right? That'd be an awesome event to do. Colin, do you shoot sports in RAW, JPEG, or both? JPEG. The reason for that is because mostly when I'm shooting sports, I want the images to work with quicker. And JPEGs are easier to work with. They're quicker to work with. They upload into your laptop quicker. the previews render quicker in Photomechanic and Lightroom and everything. So that's predominantly why I work with JPEG. If I didn't have any time restraints, I would shoot RAW, because you can just always do so much more with RAW in post-processing. When I do like there's a couple of times where I've had some assignments where I'm trying to get something a bit different and I'm not working to like the clock of sending the images, then I'll shoot RAW because I can do more with those afterwards in terms of post-processing. Robert, what's your favorite sport to shoot? I think basketball, man. Basketball. I like shooting football, but basketball's my favorite. If you could only use one camera and lens for the rest of your life, what would you use? Good question, John. I guess right now it would probably be, I guess, the 1DX Mark III just coming out. And if I could only use one, maybe a 70 to 200 because it gives you the best kind of variety. That's the current gear anyway. There's all sorts of other stuff out there, right? Some of the Sonys are supposed to be amazing. Stuff that I haven't used myself, so I can't really talk too much about it. Would you ever shoot a match on your phone? Not like a professional job, I wouldn't know. Man, maybe that's a video right there. Could I shoot a match on my phone? That's a video, Keith. I like that. Mister, have you ever had a boring game where you struggled to hit a good number of shots? Yeah, 100%. I've had some shocking games where you really struggle sometimes. That's tough. What's your routine on a build up to game? Good man, good question. Probably quite a lengthy answer to that one, right? But yeah, I prepare as far out as I can. Yeah, definitely. I do some stuff the day before, like charging gear, cleaning gear, stuff like that. Probably a fairly hefty answer. That maybe that's another video right there. Commonwealth Games in Birmingham 2020. Is that, yeah, 2022? Yeah, 100%, man. I'd love to do that. Birmingham 2022. Hopefully I'll be there. Ever use tilt shift, Gert? No, man, is the honest answer. Not because I'm against it. Don't have a tilt shift lens, never used one. So I can't say too much about that one, man. I tell you what I do want to quickly say, guys. So the Patreon thing I talked about earlier. So what I'm doing, I've set up a Facebook community group, which we've already got. I think we've got like 5 or 6 members in there, where it's a bit of a community within the community. We're going to chat and we're going to do all kinds of stuff in there. If you want to be a member of that, go check out my previous video to this one. I talk all about it. I talk about a Patreon account, which is going to be linked in the description to this video after this becomes a video and it's not a live stream. Go check it out. Have a look at that if you want to. There's no obligation to, but any money that we make through that is all going to charities. So please do have a look at it, have a think about it. Even if you just sign up now and for April, if you want to then cancel it after that, that's cool with me. But think about it for now because it's going to charity and it'd be cool to make as much for charity as we can. And first 10 people who sign up to the Patreon, I'm sending out some prints. Any photo you want from my Instagram pages, you choose one, you tell me which one you want, and I'm sending you out a print. I'll sign it as well. And you get added into the Facebook group where we're already having a bit of a chat over there and getting started. So have a think about it. Check out the Patreon account, watch the previous video, and then it will make sense and you can go see what I'm talking about. How much editing are you allowed to do on images when shooting for the agency? Good question, man. But basically, so not much. You're allowed to tweak like colors and contrast and stuff like that, but you're not allowed to change anything. So like you couldn't like edit out something in the picture that you don't want there because it's all covered by journalistic integrity, which means you can't paint a picture if it isn't an accurate reflection of what actually went on. So you can't like physically change a picture, if that makes sense. You guys would go down the pub after a game. No, man, I can't say we. I imagine that's what it's like in the UK. Is that what you think of us? No, I can't say we do. Mostly because at the end of that, I'm knackered. Right, I've finished. Doing a load of work. Want to get home, see the family and stuff. So no, man, I don't tend to too much after a game. No. With the Canon R5 on the horizon, would you consider going mirrorless? Yeah, 100%. I think mirrorless is going to be the future, right? So yeah, at some point I'll definitely go mirrorless. I don't know when, but at some point I'm sure I would. Chris the Tech, thank you, man. Trevor, do you look at doing some stock photography shots? Um, yeah, I always include some stock shots, just like, photos of a single player on their own. That type of photo is rarely going to get used in like a newspaper. But yeah, I take those photos. Have you made money from this? Yeah, some of those are sold before, especially when it's like a news agency in the future. Maybe somebody might, need a photo of that one player, and then they come back and look at historic stock photos and they get used. Do you see mirrorless cameras taking over very soon? Yeah, I do, man. Yeah, I see pitch side. I see some people already using the Sonys, and apparently they're awesome. So yeah, I imagine. I imagine. Uh, Not cool, man. Oh, okay. Yeah, guys, chill out in the comments. Yeah, don't want anything negative. That's not what this is about. Nothing negative in the comments. What else we got? Rashid, do you see? Oh no, sorry. Okay. Can you do a remote shutter behind the goals video again? Yeah, I can. I think I might have done two on remotes, man. So go check those out. Um, worth watching that. I've done a couple of videos on remotes, but yeah, definitely I'll do another one. Sean, for your basketball or football, do you get paid per image? Flat rate per. Okay, cool. Yeah, it depends. Some of the work I do, I just get paid a flat rate to go and photograph a game. Some of the stuff is per image, but it's not just per image I shoot, it's per image that gets used, as in like commission. Um, about how much do you make from an image? It varies so much, man. Varies so much. Renee, have you ever given away photos free? Yeah, I have, man. I've sent out prints to viewers of my channel for free. Sometimes to like, certain players of teams that I'm shooting for. But that's kind of within the agreement of the setup I do to shoot. So that's not technically free. But yeah, I do, man. Look, if I think it's a good reason to give away a free photo, then I would. If it was for a good cause or to help someone out. Look, I try and be a good guy, right? I sent out prints to lots of you guys, lots of my subscribers on my channel. And I always try and do that, and I'm going to be sending out some next week once we get my first 10 members signing up to the Patreon. We'll be sending out some more photos next week. John saying those. Oh, that's the ones I'm just talking about. The prints that you did your favorite shots. I got them printed online, so I used a company online and online printers who printed them out and then sent me the photos. There's loads of companies online that do really great quality prints. Go check those out, guys. Pascal just signed up. You'll be getting a photo, Pascal. I'm gonna send that out, man. I'll message you through the account. Thank you, man. Togga, what do you do in the summer when football is over? Probably won't be this year, yeah. So what do I do in the summer? So previous summers, I've done a few like events and stuff. I used to photograph a big like air show, a motorsport show. I try and do whatever I can, right? I do events. I don't just do sports work, right? So I've done like events. I've done school events, university events. Some of those kinds of things are in the summer. So I just try and do whatever I can when the football season's over. I don't really photograph cricket or tennis. Maybe I should take those up because that's on in the summer, right? Thanks for the answer. No worries, Renee. That's fine. Pascal, whoa, thank you, man. Jamie, man, you know what? Yeah, I was trying to think of it when I answered the question. I actually can't remember what it was, to be totally honest with you. I've got loads of personal prints done with a website called Photobox, which do like like loads of our like family photos around the house, and they do some good quality prints. I don't think it was them that I did those sports photos with though, but I can't remember if I'm totally honest with you. I'll try and find out. Right, guys, it is 10:05, and I'm starving hungry. I haven't had any dinner yet. I'm gonna go have some late dinner this evening. Gonna finish up my great Fanta. I'll try and stretch to one or two more questions. Thank you for your time doing this. No, steady camera. No worries. Look, I really enjoyed doing this, guys. Gordon just tuned in. Oh man, just tuned. Don't worry, you'll better go back and you better watch the rest. 300mm lens is too big to shoot sports. It's not too big, man. People shoot with 400s, 500s. Guys, thank you very much. Don't worry, Gordon. You can go back and you can. This is going to be a video on the channel, so you better go back and watch all of it. And I'm going to be doing another one of these again. If you go watch the last video before this, I talk about the Facebook group, and I'm going to be doing some live Q&As within that Facebook group. So if you want to be part of that, go watch the last video. You'll see what I'm talking about. Guys, thank you so much. Everyone's saying thank you. Been awesome. Do you consider doing videos with other sports photographers here on YouTube? Yeah, 100%. Funny enough, I featured on another guy's channel. God, the guy's name's David. His channel is Emily Media. Go check that out. I figured on one of his videos the other day, and I've got a real cool collaboration coming up real soon with somebody who a lot of you guys will know, but I don't want to spoil it yet, so I won't say anything. What's for dinner? Mrs. Sambles has made some lasagna. It's going to be awesome. She makes a great lasagna. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. This will appear on the as an actual video on the channel real soon. Thank you, guys. Take care. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to see you all real soon on the next video.